The night she died was the night I fell in love. I remember I could see her from the doorway. There was no one else there. And she had to be so afraid in that silent room with nothing but the Grim Reaper screeching inside her ears. There was no murmur of love or compassion, no priest to tell her there was a chance for heaven, no dignity. Next to that lay an intravenous tube. You see, that image of her didn't fit. How death on her didn't fit like a glove. It was rough and bloodied, falling with the grace of a meat hammer. So I walked into the room and laid my hand on the bed and on her forehead. They were both hot and pink, tender and soft. I asked, "How are you feeling?" She looked up at me with a heavy smile, the kind from a girl telling me there's no suffering in this world, not while she's here. Cold. But my heart's still pumping, it's warm. "Well, you called an ambulance, haven't you?" She said, "No, I'm busy." "Doing what?" "Dying, Brent." Even like this, her hair loose in knots down the pillowcase, skin patchy around her nose, and a bowel-destroying cough holding her back. She held onto a certain type of beauty. Seeing it, I couldn't help but feel still I wasn't good enough. So I leaned closer. "Jess, live for me. There is still living and love left for you here." I shouted it into her ears. I didn't mean to. "I'm sorry, there's no leash for emotions. I'm sorry. But do you know how much you mean to me?" She said, "Yes, I do now." She said, "Now tell me I'm beautiful without poetry. Show me I'm more beautiful than the words you write. Can you do that without metaphors for me?" I closed my eyes and I grabbed her hands and I placed them on my heart. And the beat sat slow until I opened my eyes and saw her soft face looking back, and she felt my heart race, and she smiled and my heart talked back, showing her love doesn't need metaphors or words, it only needs hearts and smiles. And she gripped my hands with a grip so weak. And I kneeled down beside her, my teardrops tasting like skin. "It's not time for you to go. Love never dies, and you don't die unloved." But all she mustered was, "Hold me." So I climbed onto the bed to be with her, wrapped her body in my arms. "I don't know what will happen," she cried. "No one does, love. Know that I'm here." So she rolled into my embrace. "Hold me tighter." So I wrapped snug, hoping to fight her contortions away. But Bren, she mouthed again and again, fighting for her last grasp on life. "I'm sorry." "Don't," I started. "You be sorry." But all she whimpered out was, "Love you," behind her teeth and arcing back, saying it so comfortingly. She made me think I was the one dying. "Don't let me be alone," she cried. "Don't let me be alone. This isn't the last. This is not the last. This will last forever." And I held tighter as her eyes rolled back into heaven, because I never let go of anyone I love. And I keep telling her story on every stage because I am still holding on.